Thunder rumbles. Naya Harper's steely gaze shatters insults and corruption in the courtroom. Justice ignites. A police baton slammed against a squad car's hood, its cracks splitting the dusk as three white officers pin Naya Harper, a 35-year-old black woman in a white t-shirt, her hair in a tight bun, against the vehicle. Their shouts venomous. Hands up. Scum, while a swelling crowd of onlookers jeered, their voices a hateful chorus. Lock her up and troublemaker, their slurs lashing like whips. And Naya's face was a stoic mask, her dark eyes glinting with a hidden fire. Catching the flicker of a street camera she'd planted days ago, its red dot streaming to her CIA server, and her lips twitched, a shadow of a smirk, knowing every taunt was captured. But she stayed silent, her wrists bound by cuffs, her body still, as if surrendering to the injustice. And the officers yanked her through the crowd, their insults relentless. Think you're tough? Huh. And back to where you belong as bystanders hurled more abuse. Thug and get out of our city. Their faces twisted with prejudice, and Naya's pulse thrummed, her years as a covert CIA agent slipping through carteldons, dismantling terror networks burning in her mind. Her mission now the most perilous, exposing the syndicate, a corrupt web strangling the city's police. And she'd staged this arrest, a deliberate trap, framed for obstructing justice after a fabricated loitering charge. Her silence a razor, and the courthouse rose ahead, its marble steps crawling with reporters, their cameras flashing, and a mob of spectators spat vitriol. Criminal and jail her, their words a storm of hate. And Naya's heart pounded, her brother Malik's face framed by cops, found dead in a cell searing. Her mother's sobs, Naya, find the truth, a vow, and she'd infiltrated the precinct as a civilian, planting cameras in squad rooms, bugs in offices, collecting syndicate secrets, bribes, murders, cover-ups, and now in the courtroom. Judge Raymond Holt loomed, his gavel a steady pulse as the prosecutor. Claire Vance, a sleek woman with a predatory grin, sneered. Naya Harper, charged with obstructing justice, a menace to order. And Naya stood, uncuffed, her white t-shirt a stark contrast to the room's dark paneling, her gaze piercing Holt. No lawyer beside her, no plea offered. Her silence a heavy veil, and the gallery erupted, spectators hissing, guilty and she's dangerous, their jeers a crescendo. Send her back to the gutter, and a woman shouted, no place for her kind here. Their prejudice a suffocating fog, and Naya's chest tightened, the weight of their scorn a familiar enemy. But her mind was a blade. Malik's laughter, his law school dreams crushed by this corrupt system, fueling her. And she'd trained for this deserts, safe houses, shadow ops, her body a weapon, her will a fortress. And the courtroom's tension coiled. Holt's voice sharp, Miss Harper, do you speak? And Naya's eyes flicked to a courtroom light, a hidden mic humming, her signal imminent. And she rose, her voice a low murmur. Soon. And Vance laughed. Silence is guilt. But the gallery's taunts grew vicious. A man yelling, put her away, and others joining. She's nothing, their hatred a tidal wave. And Naya's resolve hardened, her earpiece buzzing. Ethan Cole, her CIA handler, whispering, evidence loaded, your move. And she felt the drive sewn into her t-shirt's hem, her fingers itching, and the bailiff snapped, order. But Naya's gaze bored into Holt, his robes cloaking syndicate ties she'd uncovered. And Vance's smirk faltered, a flicker of unease, and the gallery stirred. A reporter's phone pinging, a leaked clip spreading cops pocketing cash, and Naya's silence was a grenade. Her arrest a chess move, and she saw Malik's hope, his life stolen by the same rot she now hunted. And her mother's tears. You're our justice, and the courtroom's air crackled. Holt's gavel poised, his voice stern. Final chance, Ms. Harper. And Naya's eyes sharpened, her earpiece humming. Ethan's voice. Now. And she tugged the drive free, her hand steady. This is my defense. And she tossed it to a clerk. Play it. And Vance surged. Objection. But the clerk complied, the screen flaring a video of cops trading bribes. Holt's voice on a call. Bury it and gas choked the room. Reporters scrambling, the gallery's jeers turning to stunned silence. And Naya stood, her white t-shirt a flag, her bun unmoved, her silence now a thunderclap, knowing the syndicate's mask was fracturing. And Vance's face blanched, Holt's gavel shaking, and Naya's eyes blazed. Malik's death a vow, her mission a fire, the courtroom a crucible, and she whispered, "You're finished." As the evidence rolled, her trap sprung, the truth ablaze, ready to burn the syndicate's corruption to ash. Her war just ignited. A gunshot echoed outside the courthouse, its cracks splintering the dusk as protesters surged, their chants of justice for Nia clashing with police batons. And inside, Naya Harper, a 35-year-old black woman in a white t-shirt, her hair in a tight bun, stood at the defendant's table, her dark eyes a furnace as the courtroom screen blazed with her planted evidence, cops counting blood-soaked cash. Judge Raymond Holt's voice ordering, "Bury it," and gasps choked the air, spectators reeling from her silence-shattering reveal. And Naya's hand gripped a concealed CIA badge, her voice slicing. "I'm Agent Naya Harper, Central Intelligence Agency," flashing the silver shield, its glint a blade, and the gallery exploded. Reporters lunging for phones, their live streams spiking. Hashtag Naya Harper and Syndicate exposed rocketing to millions. And prosecutor Claire Vance staggered, her face ashen, shrieking, "This is a farce." But Naya's gaze pinned her silence now a thunderclap, and she slid a second drive from her t-shirt's hem, tossing it to the clerk. "Play the rest." And the screen roared audio of Vance on a call. "Harper's a threat. Syndicate wants her gone," and the courtroom dissolved into pandemonium. Holt's gavel useless, his shout, order drowned by spectators' cries. She's a hero and reporters' feeds. And Naya's heart thundered. Her brother Malik's death framed, murdered in a cell, a raw wound. Her mother's plea, "Nia, find the truth," a vow. And she'd spent months as a shadow, planting cameras in precinct ceilings, bugs in cop lockers, tracing the syndicate's corruption bribes, beatings, Malik's accident, and now her trap ignited, the evidence a wildfire, and Holt's arm darted, his robes cloaking bribes she'd logged, and Vance's composure shattered, her voice trembling. "This is fabricated," but the gallery's outrage surged. A woman screaming, "You lied." And bystanders, once jeering thug, now chanting, "Free Naya," and Naya's pulse steadied, her mission a scalpel. But a figure slipped through the gallery, a man in a gray suit, his phone flashing, and Naya's instincts screamed, the syndicate's claws deep, and she whispered to her earpiece, "Ethan Cole, her CIA handler, track that suit." As the screen played on, showing a cop torching evidence, his laugh chilling, and the crowd roared. Justice, but a text hit Naya's burner phone. "You die tonight, Harper," and her jaw tightened, the syndicate retaliating, and Holt slammed the gavel, voice cracking. Recess, but Nia stood unbowed, her white t-shirt a flag, and reporters swarmed. Sarah Klein's camera live. "Agent Harper, who runs this," and Naya's voice was iron, "a network of corruption, and I'm dismantling it." And millions watched, protests erupting, precincts mobbed, signs reading Naya's truth. Choking streets, and Ethan's voice crackled. Vance's emails leaked. She ordered Malik's hit, and Naya's breath caught, rage flaring, her mother's oaths echoing, "You're our hope," and she slipped from the courthouse. Tara Brooks, her hired security, a steely ex-Marine, flanking her, their pistols hidden, and they ducked into a safe house, a dingy loft alive with Ethan's servers, his dreadlocks swaying as he typed. Got her calls too, syndicates panicking, and Naya scanned the files, Vance's voice confessing. Malik knew too much. End him. And her rage boiled, her training deserts, safe houses, shadow ops anchoring her, and she said, release everything. But Ethan paused. This'll paint a target. And Naya's eyes burned. It already has. And he uploaded, news outlets erupting, prosecutor tied to murder, and protests turned to riots, precincts burning, cops scattering, and Naya's phone pinged. A syndicate threat. No hiding. And Tara swept the loft, finding a bug Marrow's tech. Ethan traced and Naya's mind raced. Vincent Marrow, the syndicate's billionaire overlord. A name she'd glimpsed in encrypted files, and she texted Ethan. Find his hub. As Lena Carter, her lawyer ally, called. FBI's moving on Vance. But Holt's blocking, and Naya's resolve hardened. Her scars a testament, and she faced a hidden camera. Live streaming. I'm Agent Naya Harper. Exposing the syndicate, and they can't run, and millions cheered. Hashtags flooding, hashtag Naya fights, and protests gridlocked the city, precincts under siege. But a car screeched outside. Syndicate enforcers closing, their headlights piercing, and Tara's team braced, their guns drawn, and Naya gripped her knife, her white t-shirt a symbol, her bun tight, knowing Marrow watched, and she whispered, your turn's coming. As Ethan hacked deeper, tracing Marrow's funds to a Dubai vault, and Lena prepped charges, the safe house a bunker, and Naya stood by a window, the city's lights a war zone, her brother's death a vow. Her mission ablaze, her mother's tears a call, justice, Nia, and the riots roared, precincts crumbling, reporters swarming, and Naya's evidence cameras, bugs. Vance's confession was a torch, her silence now a storm, her truth a weapon, ready to burn the syndicate's empire to ash, her war a fire, no matter the cost. A Molotov cocktail shattered against the safe house's brick wall, its flames licking the night as Naya Harper, a 35-year-old black woman in a white t-shirt, her hair in a tight bun, dove behind a steel desk, her CIA-trained reflexes a blur, her dark eyes scanning the loft's shadows for syndicate enforcers, their boots already thudding outside, and her pulse hammered, the city beyond a cauldron of chaos. Protests raging after her courtroom bombshell leaked videos of cops taking bribes. Prosecutor Claire Vance's voice ordering her brother Malik's murder now viral at 100 million views. Hashtags, hashtag Naya fights, and hashtag syndicate expose flooding feeds. And Naya's heart burned. Malik's death a raw wound. Her mother's plea, find the truth, a vow. And she turned the precinct inside out. Her planted cameras and bugs exposing the syndicate as rot. But now, their retaliation struck, and her earpiece crackled. Ethan Cole, her hacker handler, his voice tense. More files decrypted. Nia. Chief Ramsey's dirty. I'm uploading. And Naya's breath caught, her knife gripped tight, as Tara Brooks, her ex-Marine security lead, signaled Eddie from the loft's corner, her rifle trained on the door. 3 hostiles, incoming, and Naya nodded. Her months undercover posing as a civilian, wiring precinct vents, tapping cop phones flashing in her mind, and she'd baited this trap. Her arrest a gambit, and the safe house, a grimy loft pulsing with Ethan's servers, was her war room, and Ethan's dreadlocks swayed as he typed. Ramsey's emails. He greenlit Malik's hit. It's live, and Naya's rage surged, her mother's house echoing. You're our justice. And she rose, her white t-shirt a beacon. As the door splintered, 2 syndicate enforcers bursting in, their silenced pistols glinting, and Naya lunged, her knife slashing one's arm, blood spraying, her elbow cracking the other's jaw, their guns clattering, and Tara fired, a third enforcer dropping, his body slumping. And Naya's wounds from the jetway scuffle ached, but her training deserts, jungles, shadow ops kept her sharp, and she pinned the first enforcer, her blade at his throat. Who sent you? And he spat. Marrow owns you. And Naya's blood chilled. Vincent Marrow, the syndicate's billionaire shadow, a name she'd traced in encrypted files. And Tara cuffed him, but a car screeched outside. More enforcers, and Naya's phone buzzed. A text from Maya Vance, a CIA colleague. Ramsey's tied to Holt. I've got proof. Meet me. And Naya's mind raced. Judge Holt's bribes a thread she'd pulled, and she whispered to Ethan, trace Maya's signal. As Tara's team braced, their rifles sweeping, and Naya slipped to a window. The city a war zone, protests torching precincts, signs reading Naya's truth. Clogging streets, and Ethan's screen flared. Ramsey's voice on a call, Harper's a dead end, syndicate's orders, and Naya's rage boiled, her brother's laughter, his law school dreams crushed, fueling her, and she said, leak it, and Ethan uploaded, news outlets screaming, police chief linked to murder, and protests erupted, rioters storming City Hall, cops fleeing, and Naya's live stream hit billions. Sarah Klein's camera catching her bloodied defiance. I'm Agent Naya Harper, and the syndicate's burning, and the feed trended. Hashtag justice for Malik. But a brick crashed through the loft's skylight. A syndicate note tied, no escape, and Tara swept. Finding a tracker Marrow's tech, and Naya's instincts flared, her training a lifeline, and she texted Maya, safe house, now, as Ethan hacked deeper, pulling emails linking Ramsey to Holt, bury any dissent, and Nia's resolve hardened, her scars a map, and Maya burst in, her face grim, Holt's syndicate, I've got his ledger, and Naya scanned it, bribes to judges, cops, Vance, all stamped with Marrow's name, and she said, go public. But a car exploded outside, syndicate enforcers firing, and Tara's team returned shots, bullets ripping, and Naya dove, her knife slashing a gunman's leg, his scream echoing, and she dragged Maya to cover, her t-shirt torn, her bun fraying, and Ethan's servers sparked, a bullet grazing his arm, but he kept typing, it's live. And headlines blared, judge tied to corruption, and protests paralyzed the city, FBI sirens wailing, Agent Carla Vasquez texting, Ramsey suspended, Holt's next, but Naya's phone pinged, a syndicate threat, you're dust, and she gripped Tara's arm, lock it down, as Maya's ledger burned in her mind, Marrow's empire vast, and she faced a hidden camera, live streaming, the syndicate's exposed, and I'm coming for Marrow, and billions roared, precincts crumbling, reporters swarming, and Naya stood, the loft a fortress, her brother's death a vow, her mother's hope a fire, her mission ablaze, ready to burn the syndicate's core, her silence a storm, her truth a weapon, no matter the kit. A flashbang detonated in the alley behind the courthouse, its blinding burst scattering protesters as syndicate enforcers advanced, their silenced rifles cutting through the smoke, and Naya Harper, a 35-year-old black woman in a white t-shirt, her hair in a tight bun, sprinted through the chaos, her CIA-honed instincts screaming, her dark eyes catching a glint of steel, a sniper on a rooftop, and she dove behind a dumpster, her pulse hammering as bullets pinged the metal, and the city was a furnace. Protests ignited by her live-streamed evidence, cops taking bribes, Claire Vance's murder orders, Chief Ramsey's suspension, now a global blaze, billions watching, hashtag Naya fights and hashtag syndicate, exposed trending, and Naya's heart burned, her brother Malik's death framed, Killed in a cell, a raw scar. Her mother's plea, Nia, find the truth, a vow. And she'd unraveled the syndicate's web, her cameras and bugs exposing their rot. But now their vengeance hunted her, and her earpiece buzzed, Ethan Cole. Her hacker handler, his voice urgent, Nia, Holt's ledger's live. He's syndicate, linked to Marrow. Uploading now, and Nia's breath hitched. Judge Raymond Holtz bribes a thread she'd pulled, and Tara Brooks, her ex-Marine security lead, signaled Eddie from a nearby van, her rifle ready, snipers, 2, rooftops, and Nia nodded, her knife gripped, her months under his cover posing as a civilian, wiring precinct halls, tapping phones flashing, and she'd baited this war, her arrest a spark, and the safe house raid had only sharpened her edge, and Ethan's servers pulsed in a hidden loft, his dreadlocks bouncing as he typed. Holt's emails. He buried Malik's case. It's public. And Nia's rage flared, her mother's arms echoing, "You're our justice." And she bolted, dodging bullets, her t-shirt tearing on jagged metal, her bun loosening, and she scaled a fire escape. Her training deserts, jungles, shadow ops her shield, and she tackled the sniper, her knife slashing his wrist, his rifle clattering, and she pinned him. Who's Marrow's contact? But he laughed. You're already dead. And Tara's shot dropped a second sniper, his body thudding, and Nia cuffed the first, her wounds from the safe house aching, but her resolve iron. And she texted Maya Vance, her CIA colleague, "Need you now," as Ethan's voice crackled. Holt's fleeing, FBI's on him, and Nia's mind raced. Maya's ledger Marrow's bribes to Holt, Vance, Ramsey a bombshell, and she slipped into the courthouse, protesters chanting, Nia Yoa's truth, their signs clogging streets, and the courtroom loomed. Holt back on the bench, his face pale, his gavel trembling as Lena Carter, Nia's lawyer, stormed in, slamming the ledger. Judge Holt, your syndicate, and Nia faced him, her voice a blade. You buried Malik. You're done. And the gallery roared, spectators surging. Traitor and reporters' cameras rolled, live streaming to billions. Hashtag Holt, exposed trending. And Holt's voice broke. This is slander. But the screen flared. Ethan's hack playing Holt's call. Pay Ramsey. Kill the case, and gasps filled the room. The gallery chanting, justice. And Nia's heart pounded. Her brother's laughter. His law school dreams crushed. Fueling her. And Vance, already exposed, fled. But FBI agent Carla Vasquez burst in. Cuffs ready. Holt, you're under arrest. And he slumped. His robes a mockery. And Nia's phone pinged. A syndicate text. You'll burn. And her instincts flared, her knife drawn, and Tara swept the gallery, finding a bug Marrow's tech, and Nia's resolve hardened. Vincent Marrow, the syndicate's billionaire kingpin, her true target, and she faced Sarah Klein's camera. Live, I'm Agent Nia Harper, and the syndicate's empire falls, and billions cheered, protests paralyzing the city, precincts burning, and Ethan hacked deeper, pulling emails Marrow to a senator. And Harper and Nia's rage surged, her mother's tears flashing. You're our hope. And she texted Maya, safe house, bring the files. As Lena filed charges, Vasquez warning, Marrow's global, untouchable, but Nia's voice was steel. Not to me. And Maya arrived. Her ledger expanded syndicate's ties to a D-Skyme elite, and Nia said, leak it, and Ethan uploaded. Headlines blaring, corruption reaches Capitol, and protests storm City Hall. Cops fleeing, and Nia's live stream showed her scars. Her fire, billions chanting, Nia and a car screeched, syndicate enforcers firing, and Tara's team countered, bullets ripping, and Nia dove, her knife slashing a gunman's arm. blood spraying, and she dragged Maya to safety, her t-shirt soaked, her bun frayed, and Ethan's servers sparked. His voice, it's everywhere and the city burned. FBI raiding precincts, Holt cuffed, and Naya stood. The safe house a fortress, her brother's death a vow, her mission ablaze, ready to hunt Marrow, her silence a storm, her truth a sword, no matter the cost. A car bomb detonated outside the federal courthouse, its thunderous blast hurling debris across the plaza, shattering windows as protesters scattered, their screams mingling with sirens. And Naya Harper, a 35-year-old black woman in a blood-stained white t-shirt, her hair in a fraying bun, vaulted over a courtroom bench, her CIA reflexes a storm, her dark eyes blazing through the K as glass crunched underfoot, and her pulse roared, the city a crucible. Protests ignited by her live-streamed Truth Cops bribes, Claire Vance's murder plot, Chief Ramsey's suspension, Judge Holt's arrest now a global inferno, billions watching. Haddad Naya fights and Hish syndicate falls searing social feeds. And Naya's heart burned, her brother Malik's death framed, murdered in a cell a jagged scar. Her mother's plea, find the truth. Naya, a vow, and she'd rip the syndicate's mask, her hidden cameras and bugs exposing their rot. But now their fury hunted her, and her earpiece crackled. Ethan Cole, her hacker handler, shouting, Grayson's emails live, senators tied to Marrow. It's viral and Naya's breath caught. Vincent Marrow, the syndicate's billionaire mastermind, her true quarry, and Tara Brooks, her ex-Marine security lead, fired from the gallery's balcony, dropping a syndicate sniper. His rifle clattering, and Nia surged forward, her t-shirt torn, her shoulder grazed by shrapnel. Pain searing as Lena Carter, her lawyer, slammed a ledger onto the judge's desk. This court's a syndicate sham, and Judge Evelyn Torres, Holt's replacement, froze, her gavel trembling. As the courtroom screen flared, Senator Paul Grayson's email, fund Marrow, kill Harper, in the gallery erupted. Spectators screaming, traitors their earlier jeers, thug criminal now drowned by cries of justice. And reporters' cameras rolled, live streaming to billions, hashtag Marrow exposed spiking, and Naya's voice sliced through. You buried Malik's murder. You're all syndicate. And Torres's face blanched, her voice faltering. Order, but the gallery surged, a woman shouting. Nia's our hero, and protesters outside stormed police lines. Their signs, justice for Malik. A tidal wave, and Naya's heart thundered, her mother's sobs echoing. You're our hope. And she'd wired the city cameras in precincts, bugs in judges' chambers, her evidence ablaze. And the courtroom dissolved. FBI agent Carla Vasquez bursting through, cuffs snapping on Grayson, her voice sharp. You're finished, Senator. And the verdict landed syndicate guilty. Vance, Ramsey, Holt convicted. Life sentences, and Naya's resolve hardened. But a text hit her burner phone. You're ash, Harper, and her instincts flared. Marrow's shadow looming, and she slipped to a side exit. Tara flanking, their pistols concealed, and protesters cheered. Niame, their phones a C, but a van screeched. Syndicate enforcers unloading, their rifles spitting, and Naya dove behind a check-in counter. Protesters shielding her. A man yelling, protect Naya. And her knife slashed a gunman's thigh. Blood gushing, her training deserts, safe houses. Shadow ops her lifeline, and Tara's team returned fire. Bullets tearing, and Naya dragged a protester to cover. Her t-shirt drenched, her bun unraveling, and Ethan's voice buzzed. Maya's here. Files on Kane Marrow's global, and Naya's mind raced. Maya Vance, her CIA ally, exposing Victor Kane, a London billionaire. And she texted, safe house. Now, as Lena's call rang, FBI's raiding D, See, Grayson's confessing. And Naya's wounds bled, her shoulder a furnace, but her heart burned. Malik's laughter, his law school dreams crushed, fueling her, and they reached the loft. Ethan's servers humming, his dreadlocks swaying. Kane's bankrolling Marrow Airlines. Ports, it's vast. And Maya burst in, her face grim. Files Kane's orders to Holt. Eliminate Harper. And Naya scanned them. Kane's emails to Grayson. Bury Malik. Protect Marrow. And her rage surged, her mother's tears flashing. You're our justice. And she said, boy, leak it. And Ethan uploaded. Headlines roaring. London billionaire tied to global conspiracy. And protests crippled cities. Precincts burning. And Naya's live stream showed her bloodied stand. I'm Agent Naya Harper. And the syndicates collapsing. And billions cheered. Hashtag justice for Malik trending. But a drone buzzed, dropping a note. Marrow owns you. And Tara swept, finding a tracker Kane's tech, and Naya's resolve burned. Her scars a map, and she faced a hidden camera. Kane, I'm coming. And billions roared. FBI raiding syndicate fronts, and Lena filed charges. Vasquez warning. Kane's untouchable in London. But Naya's voice was steel. Not to me. And protesters stormed airports, signs reading Naya's fire, and Nia stood in the loft. Ethan's servers sparking. Tara's team braced. Her brother's death a vow. Her mother's hope ablaze. And Maya's files revealed Kane's summit, syndicate elites in London, and Naya planned a strike. Her evidence, Maya's files. Grayson's emails, Ethan's hacks a torch, and the FBI closed in. Precincts crumbling, and Naya's live stream looped, her wounds bleeding, her t-shirt a flag, her bun loose, and protesters chanted, Nia me ya Nia, their phones a constellation, and Ethan's voice, it's everywhere as headlines hit, syndicate's global web, and Nia's heart thundered, Malik's dreams her guide, her mother's tears her fire, ready to hunt Kane, her silence a tempest, her truth a sword, no matter the canon. A server rack sparked in the syndicate's hidden data vault, its electric hiss piercing the dark as Naya Harper, a 35-year-old black woman in a tattered white t-shirt, her hair in a fraying bun, pried open a panel, her CIA reflexes a silent storm, her dark eyes glinting as she dodged a laser tripwire, and her pulse thundered. The city outside a maelstrom, protests erupting after her live-streamed expose cops' bribes, Claire Vance's murder plot, Chief Ramsey's fall, Judge Holt's cuffs, Senator Grayson's conviction, now a global cataclysm, billions watching, hashtag Naya fights and Heed syndicate fall scorching feeds, and Naya's heart blazed, her brother Malik's death framed, killed in a cell a raw wound, her mother's plea, find the truth, a vow, and she'd shredded the syndicate's veil, her cameras and bugs unmasking their rot. But now, their desperation hunted her, and her earpiece crackled. Ethan Cole, her hacker handler, whispering, Nia, Kane's servers live, I'm in files downloading, and Naya's breath caught. Victor Kane, the syndicate's London billionaire, Marrow's puppet, her endgame, and Tara Brooks, her ex-Marine security lead, crouched at the vault's door, her rifle sweeping, guards incoming, 10 seconds, and Naya's knife flashed, her months undercover posing as a civilian, wiring precincts, tapping phones flashing, and she'd sparked this war, her arrest a gambit, in the vault, buried under a syndicate front, was her crucible. And Ethan's voice surged. Kane's video call patching you and a monitor flickered. Kane's face appearing, his silver hair stark, his voice cold. Harper, you're a pest. And Naya's gaze pierced. You killed Malik. Kane, confess. And his laugh chilled. Marrow owns the world. You're nothing. But Naya's drive was plugged. Ethan's hack streaming, and Kane's eyes widened. You're dead. As the screen showed his orders, kill Malik. Bury Naya, and Naya's voice was steel. You're exposed, and the live stream hit billions. Had Kane falls trending, and the vault shook, guards breaching, their boots pounding, and Naya dove, her knife slashing a guard's arm, blood spraying, her shoulder wound from the airport flaring, pain lancing, and Tara fired, two guards dropping, their bodies thudding, and Naya grabbed the drive. Ethan, upload, and his servers roared. It's live, and headlines blared. London billionaire confesses, and protests paralyzed cities. Precincts burning, but alarms wailed. Syndicate enforcers flooding, and Naya sprinted. Tara covering, bullets ripping, and they burst into the city, a war zone of riots. Protesters chanting, Nia, Nia, their signs, justice for Malik. A C, and Naya's t-shirt was soaked, her bun loose, but her heart burned, her mother's soul's echoing, you're our justice, and her training deserts, safe houses. Shadow ops kept her sharp, and Maya Vance, her CIA ally, screeched up in a van, her face grim. Kane's in London, but Marrow's deeper files, and Naya scanned them. Kane's summit with syndicate elites, orders to end Harper, and her rage surged. Malik's laughter, his law school dreams crushed, fueling her, and she said, leak it, and Ethan uploaded from a safe house. Headlines screaming, syndicate summit exposed, and protests stormed airports, signs reading Naya's fire. And Naya's live stream showed her bloodied resolve. I'm Agent Naya Harper, and the syndicate's finished, and billions cheered. Instead justice for Malik trending, but a helicopter bust, dropping a syndicate note, Marrow's untouchable, and Tara swept, finding a tracker Kane's tech, and Naya's resolve burned. Her scars a map, and she faced a hidden camera. Marrow, I'm coming. And billions roared. FBI raiding syndicate fronts, and Lena Carter filed charges. Agent Carla Vasquez, warning. Marrow's beyond Kane, a ghost. But Naya's voice was iron. I'll find him. And protesters flooded streets, their phones a constellation. And Nia stood in the safe house. Ethan's servers sparking. Tara's team braced. Her brother's death a vow. Her mother's hope ablaze. And Maya's files revealed Marrow's empire global, untouchable, and Naya planned a final strike. Her evidence, Maya's files, Kane's confession, Ethan's hacks a beacon, and the FBI closed in, precincts crumbling, and Naya's live stream looped, her wounds bleeding, her t-shirt a flag, her bun frayed, and protesters chanted, Nia, Nia, their signs a tide, and Ethan's voice. It's everywhere as headlines hit. Syndicate's global collapse. And Naya's heart thundered. Malik's dreams her guide. Her mother's tears her fire. And she stood. The city's lights a battlefield. Her mission a dawn. Ready to hunt Marrow. Her silence a spark. Her truth a clarion. Forging justice for every stolen dream. A protester's flare arced through the night, its crimson glow igniting the sky as it crashed into a police barricade, the explosion hurling sparks across the courthouse plaza, and Naya Harper, a 35-year-old black woman in a blood-soaked white t-shirt, her hair in a fraying bun, stood at the plaintiff's podium, her CIA sharpened gaze cutting through the courtroom's case, her pulse a relentless drum as Judge Evelyn Torres's gavel slammed, her voice booming. Victor Kane and the syndicate are guilty conspiracy, murder, corruption, life sentences, and the gallery detonated. Spectators surging to their feet, their roars of justice, drowning the distant wail of sirens. Reporters' cameras live streaming to billions. Had Naya wins and Ash syndicate down blazing across global feeds. And Naya's heart thundered, her brother Malik's death framed, murdered in a cell, a wound now cauterized. Her mother's plea, find the truth, Naya, a vow fulfilled, and she toppled the syndicate's empire, her hidden cameras, covert bugs, and Ethan Cole's hacks unmasking cops. Claire Vance's murder plot, Chief Ramsey's bribes, Judge Holt's treachery, Senator Grayson's betrayal, and now Kane, the London billionaire, cuffed in a cell, his video confession admitting Malik's murder, Vincent Marrows orders her wildfire, and Lena Carter, her lawyer, clasped Nia's shoulder, her eyes alight. You've changed the world, Nia. But Nia's voice was unyielding. Marrows still out there, and the courtroom quaked. Protesters outside chanting, Nia, Nia, their signs, Malik lives. A radiant sea, and Torres's verdict reverberated, dismantling the syndicate's grip, and Nia faced the gallery, her t-shirt a tattered banner, her words a blade. This is for every soul they crushed. And billions roared. The city a forge, precincts burning, protests a tsunami, and Ethan's earpiece buzzed. Marrow's funds shifted Dubai vault. I'm tracking. And Nia's breath caught. Vincent Marrow, the syndicate's billionaire puppet master, her final prey, and Tara Brooks, her ex-Marine security lead, scanned the gallery's edges, her rifle concealed, crowds a powder keg, were exposed. And Nia nodded, her shoulder wound from the airport pulsing, her resolve a furnace. And she slipped through a back exit, protesters parting like a tide, their phones a galaxy, a young man shouting, You're our justice. And Nia's chest tightened, Malik's laughter, his law school dreams stolen by this corrupt system, her flame and her mother's tears. You're our hope, her anchor. And she'd forced the system to Neil Vance's conviction, Ramsey's disgrace, Holt's cuffs, Grayson's fall, Kane's confession, but Marrow's shadow loomed, and a text hit her burner phone. You'll never reach me. And her instincts flared. Marrow's web vast, and she reached the safe house. Ethan's servers pulsing, his dreadlocks swaying as he typed. Kane's summit files elites. Marrow's orders. It's public. And Maya Vance, her CIA ally, tossed a new drive. Marrow's global ports, banks, governments, and Nia scanned it. Orders to Kane, eliminate Harper, secure the empire. And her rage boiled, her training deserts, safe houses, shadow ops her bedrock. And she said, release it. And Ethan uploaded, headlines erupting, syndicates global network, and protests stormed capitals, precincts crumbling. And Nia's live stream showed her scarred defiance. I'm Agent Nia Harper, and the syndicate's buried, and billions cheered. Had Malik lives trending, but a drone buzzed, dropping a syndicate note. Marrow's eternal, and Tara swept, finding a tracker. Marrow's tech and Nia's resolve burned, her scars a testament, and she faced a hidden camera. Marrow, your time's up, and billions roared. FBI agent Carla Vasquez storming in, Kane spilling, Marrow's in Dubai, and Nia's voice was iron. I'm going, but Vasquez cautioned, he's untouchable, and Nia's t-shirt was drenched, her bun frayed, and Lena announced, police issued a public apology, reforms passed oversight boards, bias audits, no deals. And Nia's victory forced the city's confession, and a call came, DOJ Director Ellen Hayes, join our National Oversight Board, agent, and Nia accepted. Her mother's hope ablaze, but a shadow flickered outside, a syndicate operative, his phone flashing, and Tara nabbed him. His device revealing Marrow's summit, and Nia's heart thundered. Malik's dreams her vow, and she rallied Maya. We finish this. As Lena filed global charges, and the city chanted, Nia, 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 their phones a universe, and Nia's live stream looped, her wounds bleeding, her t-shirt a symbol, and Ethan's voice. It's global as headlines hit, syndicate's endgame, and Nia stood, The city's lights a battlefield, her mission a beacon, ready to hunt Marrow, her silence a flame, her truth a cornerstone, igniting justice for every silenced voice. A laser tripwire hummed in the safe house basement, its faint glow slicing the shadows as Nia Harper, a 35-year-old black woman in a blood-soaked white t-shirt, her hair in a fraying bun, slid beneath it. Her CIA-honed reflexes, a silent surge. Her dark eyes blazing as she clutched a drive pulsing with Vincent Marrow's final secrets, his global empire. Orders to kill her brother Malik in her pulse thundered. The city outside a radiant forge. Protests now jubilant rallies. Their chants of Nia Nia, reverberating. Fueled by her live stream crusade cops' bribes, Claire Vance's murder plot, Chief Ramsey's disgrace, Judge Holt's cuffs, Senator Grayson's betrayal, Victor Kane's confession, now a universal firestorm. Billions watching. Hashtag Nia wins and hashtag Malik lives searing feeds. And Nia's heart soared. Malik's death framed. Murdered in a cell, a wound now a guiding flame. Her mother's plea, find the truth, a vow fulfilled, and she'd shattered the syndicate's dominion. Her covert cameras, hidden bugs, and Ethan Cole's hacks unmasking their rot. And now Marrow, the billionaire architect, was cornered, and her earpiece crackled. Ethan shouting, Marrow's Dubai Summit files live. FBI's raiding and Nia's breath caught. Her final blow primed. And Tara Brooks, her ex-Marine security lead, braced at the basement door, her rifle sweeping. 7 hostiles, breaching. And Nia's knife flashed. Her months undercover posing as a civilian, wiring precincts, tapping elite phones surging in her mind. And she'd sparked this revolution. Her arrest a catalyst. In the safe house, a gritty loft pulsing with Ethan's servers, was her citadel. And Ethan's dreadlocks swayed as he typed. Marrow's account seized FBI's got him, and Nia's rage blazed. Her mother's sobs echoing. You're our justice. And she stood, her t-shirt a tattered banner. As the door splintered, syndicate enforcers storming, their pistols spitting, and Nia dove, her knife slashing a gunman's forearm, blood gushing, her shoulder wound from the airport screaming, pain ripping, and Tara fired. 4 enforcers collapsing, their bodies thudding, and Nia seized a guard's radio. Who's the new cell? But he snarled, you're done. Yeah. And Tara cuffed him, but a chopper roared above, more enforcers repelling, and Nia's phone buzzed. Maya Vance, her CIA ally, texting, Marrow's down Dubai, files sealed it. And Nia's mind raced. Maya's drive Marrow's orders to global tycoons. Kill Harper, save the empire, and she plugged it in. Ethan uploading, headlines erupting, billionaire kingpin falls, and protests turned to festivals, precincts ashes, and Nia's live stream showed her scarred defiance. I'm Agent Nia Harper, and the syndicate's dust, and billions cheered. Hashtag justice for Malek trending, but a drone crashed. A syndicate note, we rise again, and Tara swept, finding a tracker, new tech, unknown, and Nia's resolve burned. Her scars a chronicle, and she faced a hidden camera. Syndicate, you're finished, and billions roared. FBI agent Carla Vasquez storming in. Marrow's cuffed, but a new cell's forming, and Nia's voice was steel. I'll crush it, and Vasquez nodded. You're unstoppable. And Nia's t-shirt was drenched, her bun frayed, and Lena Carter announced, reforms locked oversight boards, bias audits, public apology, no deals. And Nia's triumph remade the system. And a call came us, DOJ Director Ellen Hayes, lead our National Oversight Board, agent, and Nia accepted. Her mother's hope afire, and she stood in a hangar, training young agents Black, Latino, women, dreamers like Malik, her Malik scholars, their eyes fierce, mastering anti-corruption tactics. And Tara's team guarded the grounds, but a shadow flickered. a syndicate operative, his phone flashing, and Tara seized him, his device revealing a new leader's order: revive the empire. And Naya's heart thundered. Malik's dreams her vow, and she rallied Maya. We stopped them, as Lena filed charges, and the city chanted, Nia, Nia. Their phones a cosmos, and Nia's live stream looped, her wounds bleeding, her t-shirt a symbol, and Ethan's voice. It's global. As headlines hit, Syndicate's last stand, and Naya stood, the city's lights a battlefield, proclaiming justice will prevail, ready to face the new syndicate. Her silence a vow, her truth a torch, illuminating justice for every silenced soul. Naya's covert war crushed the syndicate, igniting justice's dawn. Thank you for joining her triumph. Like, share, subscribe for daring tales, hit the bell for truth and triumph.